Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 4v4 custom match here on the most famous map in all of Supreme Commanderdom. It is SETON'S Clutch. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the Northeast and ending with Team 2 in the Southwest. Starting off with Team 1's regular side player, we have in Glow in the Dark Green, it is Galactic Fear playing as an Aeon. He is at 2200. He is tied for the highest rated player on his team and in the game overall with one of his teammates and another player on Team 2. To his west, we have in Regal Purple, it is Shen playing as a UEF. He is a 2200. He is tied with Galactic Fear and another player on Team 2 for highest rated player on his team, and then obviously highest rated player overall. He is also in the beach position to his south. In the middle causeway position, it is Quantum Typhoon playing as a UEF. He is in Royal Blue as an 1100. And rounding out Team 1's lineup in the clip position or rock position, it is Band 228 in Chevy Crimson as an Aeon. He is an 1800. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Aeons and 2 UEF. No Cybrins, no Seraphim. For Team 1, starting off with Team 2's regular side player, we have in Light Octane, it is Silent Bug playing as an Aeon. He is an 1800. And in the beast position to his east, we have U or X. That's the first letter in his name. He is a 2200. He is the highest rated player on Team 2 and tied with Shen and Galactic Fear for the highest rated player overall. He's playing as the Cybrin faction in this game. To his north, we have in Pac-Man Yellow, it is God Osiris as a Seraphim. He is an 1100. He is the only Seraphim in the game. And to his west, we have in the cliff/rock position, it is Shady Socks in Ruby Red as a Cybrin as a 1900. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 2 Cybrins, a Seraphim, and an Aeon. No UEF tech for Team 2. No Seraphim and Cybrin tech for Team 1. And we see that our players customarily are going to the middle of the map for that little bit of reclaim. A little bit, a decent chunk of it. There is, of course, the beast positions moving into assist as well. Team 1 has a slight advantage in that regard because their player will approach from the north, kind of right next to, of course, these Salem wrecks. I feel like they could just move maybe one of them or something over to this side, make it a little bit more even in that regard. But they could have messed with the reclaim in the middle to kind of offset that. But, you know, it is how things goes. We do see that Team 1's clip position has landed his engineers on his eastern island to grab his mech's expansionary efforts there. Team 2's western player being shot at by some interceptors. The transport is it looks like it might get shot down. Engineers are dropped off, and com action has occurred between God Osiris and Shen. Going for that little bit of reclaim. God Osiris looks like he was reclaiming the middle Salem, and we do see that Shen is going for the right one, and then he'll probably switch over to the west one. We have a move order. That's weird. We just have a reclaim order from one another. That's interesting. Anyway, we have God Osiris going for that Salem wreck and Shen going for the ones next door to him. All those little tanks and the whatnot. I think there's some Loyalists and some Titans in this mix, I believe. Yeah, that's a is that a Loyalist wreck? That looks like a Loyalist wreck. No, that's a Loyalist wreck. That should be a Titan wreck, I think. Anyway, com action is still prevalent here. Team 2 has not dropped off their engineers on the western island. Team 1 has actually done that, so they've denied that expansionary base here for Team 2's Shady Socks. That is not going well here for him on that western side. And I will note that this game is over an hour, so make sure you get that popcorn, that beef jerky, that cookies and cream ice cream, that whatever you want to snack on, because this game is going to be a long one. Don't know the exact time, of course, of the actual timestamp on the video, or the time length of the video, but I would assume it's going to be about the same as the actual replay time. And I will note, for any of those that want to submit a replay to me, please send it at strategiclaunchreplays@gmail.com. It is trying to be a little bit better at trying to respond to everybody. I've kind of been lax about it once in a while. So again, if you have a replay that you want me to take a look at, please don't be hesitant on sending it to me there. We do see naval facility started here in the eastern waters, western water. No naval structures as of yet. We do see one started maybe here shortly. Team 1 torp launcher being built by Strategiclaunchreplays. Interesting enough. And we do see some interceptors guarding the approach of a transport. Looks like a Team 1 transport with a couple of engineers inbound. Getting a Team 1 PD emplacement online. That could be very, very nice here for Team 2. Essentially pays back the denial of that western base. For Shady Socks, the engineers will be dropped off. Actually, there's no engineers. Excuse me. I thought they were engineers. They are Mantis and some Medusa online. We do see some Team 1 land facilities pumping out not engineers, but counter units to try to stop this push. We do see that those Medusas are doing some damage to those mexes. I don't know how much damage they will do totally, because the comm of Shen is closing in. We have the Mantis trying to deny any expansionary unit, not expansionary, but defense units. So far, no mexes have been destroyed. There is an engineer in that mex. Okay, I thought there was one in there. That looks like all of the units besides those two Medusa have been destroyed. 2 mexes have been eliminated. 2 main base mexes or core mexes have still, struggling to stay online. Shen moving in to intercept. We do see a couple of engineers over here upgrading to T2 mechs, but that will be denied by those little bit of Medusa. Very annoying here for Shen. He does lose a little bit of eco, and T3 ASFs are online for Galactic Fear, and I would assume, yep, T3 Air also online for Team 2's rearguard air slot player. Wall sections in the middle of the map. God of Osiris kind of built that wall section on the other side of his comm, so kind of prevented himself from actually moving in, which is not that helpful, but, at least he's kind of guarding that really weird midsection there. Naval vessel starting to push a little bit to the middle on the eastern pond. Western pond, Team 1 pretty much owns most of it. Looks like those Medusa were eventually dealt with. It does, drop Team 1's eco a little bit, specifically Shen's, but that's not too bad. Team 2's up about 40-ish mass, 30-ish mass per second. Western base here still online, producing some nice little frigates there. Very quick redeployment, not having to, traverse the entire western pond, just able to, essentially hop, skip, and a jump it over there. Don't think it's going well for Team 2's western front, however. That base online, the longer that stays there, the better the beach player on Team 1 will be because of that extra set of eco. And on the eastern side, T1 Slivers in the mixer against some Team 1 Sliffs from Team 1's band. It's just subs versus subs. T2 Air also online, going for T3, interestingly enough here for you. Usually the naval players just stick with T2 Air for their torp bombers, but he's going for T3. T2 Air also online for Shady Socks, going for both those torp bombers that I mentioned. The air expansionary efforts are starting here for both of our players in the rear guard. Not as many air facilities coming online here for Silent Bug. Team 1's rear guard air slot player is expanding a little bit more than that. And he's pumping out, of course, his own section of ASFs. We do see a couple of those said ASFs moving in to deal with the bombers from Team 2 Shady Socks. Team 1 desperately wants to deny that naval presence here for Team 2's western front as quickly as possible. They have a huge lead, but again, the concern is Team 2's other naval player could send his torp bombers to assist. He has T3 Air almost online, so we could see a dual air player this game for Team 2, which would be very interesting. We hardly ever see that. I don't think I've ever seen two. Well, maybe. But usually it's very later in the game that T3 Air appears for somebody else, not 13 minutes almost. A-RAS started on board Silent Bug's comm. Already has his regular RAS upgrade coming online. He's going to get a large influx of mass income from that. He goes from, I think it's 11 or something, to 37. So that's essentially another T3 single ring mechs online for him. Eco situation is still favoring Team 2 at about that 30, 40, 50 range kind of thing. It constantly jumps up and down because of a little bit of reclaim and all that sort of stuff. The numbers are not necessarily that consistent, at least at this stage. Usually when it's 1.2, 1.3, they start to mellow out a little bit. Transport is denied by Team 2's interceptors. Unfortunate here for Team 1, wanted to pay back. Let's see, that is Shady Socks with that engagement earlier on. And he's getting some T2 naval vessels online here for him. He is UEF. He has access to that cruiser missile nonsense. But we do see Team 2's play of Gato Osiris. He's in the water as well. He's going for T2. That's probably a very, very smart play, making sure he goes for his own T2 cruiser missile nonsense. He has T2 air online. Everybody on Team 2 either has T2 or T3 air at this point now online for you. No T2 air online. We do see T2 Navy and T2 land for Team 1's band, and that's partially probably for the Asylums, the Flak, and the Blazes, because they are hover tech units. And T2 land online here for Quantum Typhoon. He's one of 2 UEF players in the game, the second one being Shen. And no T2 air facilities online for anybody in the Naval Department as of yet. So relying pretty much solely on the air player to cover everything, which at this stage isn't terribly hard to do. The problem is, as the game, of course, goes on and on and on, that will definitely tax his APM very, very quickly. So definitely Team 1 needs to shift in terms of their air protection to more of a direct, but a direct instead of an indirect kind of focus. T2 Navy also in line for Shady Socks. There is a destroyer here from Team 1 Shen, really trying to lock out that facility here. And we do see some destroyers now appearing here for God of Osiris. That's going to be very, very good here. He has more of them online very, very quickly here. He's pumping pretty much his entire budget into that. He needs to get that cruiser online to deal with the missile tech here from Team 1. A lot of the vessels here for Team 2's Shady Socks are being denied, and the engineers are being targeted. Those vessels are needed from God of Osiris to protect this facility. T3 Strat Bomber online for Team 1's air player. Interceptors are going to do some damage to it. ASF's going to clean up the skies. ASFs are going to engage, and they're going to leave the bomber alone. The bomber actually hovers a little bit of a moment. That's not great for it, because those interceptors come and wipe it out. Oh, there it goes. And the air fight is won by Team 2. Nice win there in the air for Team 2. It's not air dominance yet, but at least they have a little bit of air control for the time being. About almost air dominance, about 40 ASFs online. Looks like those bombers are gifted over to Silent Bug. Maybe gift them over to use control. Great, now someone else is lagging. Banned your Wi-Fi. Okay. Oh, it looks like Band is having some Wi-Fi issues, maybe? I don't know. It's Band's Wi-Fi, says Quantum Torpedo. So it looks like there's a little bit of lag. We don't suffer that issue, of course, given it being a replay, not reclaim. I keep wanting to say reclaim for some reason. Where do you see those destroyers moving in? No cruisers as of yet, just all destroyers. There is a cruiser over here from Team 1's UEF naval player of Shen, but he is getting some TMD online that God of Osiris, so that should be more than enough to deal with that cruiser missile spam from him. Naval engagement is happening in the southeastern side. Decent amount of destroyers. There's a heck ton of those frigates, and this is the definition of quantity versus quality. And I think the quantity is starting to prove its mettle, but we do see that a Omen class battleship is online. First one of its kind. Second one is almost done. Spamming out those very, very quickly. Now this will definitely turn the tide in Team 1's favor. There are some port bombers stacking up, and I almost have an idea of what they're going to go for, but they go for the destroyers first. I feel like you can go for the battleship, start whittling that down. There are a decent amount of those port bombers. I'd say there's probably about a squadron or so moving in, and more inbound all the time. They're going to deal with, looks like, the destroyers first. The easier units essentially deal with the adds, and then you deal with the main boss kind of strategy. Western side has pretty much been evicted by Team 2's vessels. Looks like Team 1 has a little bit more presence there, but not too much. Looks like Team 1's fleet shifting more in a southward direction. I don't know if they know about these facilities. That is Team 1 knows about it. Okay. They have a spy plane overhead. ARAS is done for Galactic Fear in the back. Team 1's Eco 1000. Team 2 has lost the lead in Eco. Not doing well for Team 2. Generally, they've lost. Again, they're 50 plus, 50-ish lead. And now Team 1 is winning by 50, if not 100. That is a huge amount to be ahead at this point in terms of that jumpage. Tons of Tort Bombers. ASFs are inbound to clean out the skies. ASFs from Team 1 do flee in the sight of Team 2's fleet. And that is going to be a couple of dead omens. Team 1 might lose Navy here in the eastern pond. That's going to be a pretty early eviction from the water from Team 2. Or by Team 2, I should say. Team 1 has a little bit more legs here on the western side of things, but we'll see how long that takes. Second destroyed. Second battleship is almost dead. And those torp bombers are constantly raining in fire. We have some T2 cruisers now online trying to deal with all of that torp bomber nonsense. ASF's coming in to help out a little bit. And now the eastern island has been destroyed, at least most of it has, by those destroyers from Team 2's U. Not a fun time to be an island here in this game. Team 2, Shady Sox, has landed his own troops. And now he's dealing with the other Team 1 mexes here from Shen. And ASFs are starting to stack up quite nicely here for Galactic Fear. You said that 60 versus Team 2 Silent Bugs 85. So Team 2 still has the lead, but a couple of very good turrets could make the difference. We do see another battleship dead. Team 1 is essentially being boxed out. They still have the corner right here, but that's it. Team 2 has a lot of room to move around and wiggle and whatnot. T3 Navy started here for you. T3 Navy not coming online for anybody. Looks like some of those facilities were reclaimed. Looks like in favor of just one spam facility, it looks like. Titans moving down the central causeway here from Team 1. You hardly ever see land, given the fact that Navy could easily crush it. So we'll see if that actually plays a role or not. Destroyers continue to push in. This battleship over here is fleeing. New one is online. And it's just shifting between cruiser, battleship, cruiser, battleship, cruiser, battleship. We see another cruiser online. Again, it's the, do we focus on getting rid of the torp bombers or do we finish with the destroyers first? And it's kind of just a rough, position to be in for Team 1's Eastern Naval player. But the middle causeway player for Team 1's Quantum Typhoon pushing into the frontline base here for God Osiris. And this facility is going to go down. Team 1 PD trying, but is failed to spam up. We do see the destroyers inbound from Shady Sox to assist. Looks like he got some Seraphim tech donated over to him. But again, the downside with the Seraphim lasers is that you need a direct line of sight. And if there's any little hill in the way, those are not going to be effective. Team 2 has no response to this attack. This is going to be great damage for Team 2's Eco. Team 2's Eco jumped incredibly high. I was going to say that's definitely not what it is. There's no way they jumped almost double the Eco that quickly. Battleship being eviscerated once again. But it does look like Team 1's just barely holding on. I wouldn't be surprised to see some T2 artillery built in this base to try to kick those destroyers away. No air as of yet here for Team 2. Looks like Team 1's gunning for those gunships, especially for protecting that land invasion. This is huge. Battleship, second one also online for Team 2's naval player of U. And there's T1 bombers, Team 2 gunships, T1 bombers starting to stack up a little bit here from Shady Sox. This is a huge win by Team 1, knocking out an entire player of God Osiris. Great move by Quantum Typhoon. He saw the opening, he took it. The question is he going to continue to push or not? Would have liked to see him take out this base. At least there is an Omni that Team 2 is using quite nicely here. And definitely would be a good opportunity to wipe that out. ASFs are going to engage. They have to take the fight there. The gunships are going to provoke the engagement. And here they come. There's a couple of Cougars in the mix here for Quantum as well. They'll help out a little bit in that air coverage. But air facilities being wiped out for Silent Bug. This is not good for the air player as well. Looks like he'll take out about half or so of those Titans before they reach the facilities. The P-Gens are being targeted. Nice little cascade there. It wipes out 3 P-Gens. Another one kills off that one. T1 PD being spammed up. Now we have another air win by Team 2, but again, the air facilities, at least the secondary base, is wiped out. Now we see Mexes being eliminated with their second ring mass fabs. Not good for Team 2's Eco entirely. Team 1 going to gain a huge lead from this at 25 minutes. The attack's starting to split off a little bit. Looks like Team 2 will be able to deal with most of those, but this main attack is still of huge consequence. It is still inbound. T2 PD, T3 shielding, everything in the kitchen sink are being rolled out to deal with these. Team 1 bombers from the east helping out from you. And it looks like Team 2 is going to close that incoming line of units, the conga line. The wound is definitely hurting, and the bleeding is still occurring. The air facilities, the main facility, are being attacked. The P-Gens, of course, are being the focus of the attack from the Titans. They might get that T3 P-Gen. They will. They'll cascade it a little bit. Silent Bug will take some damage from the explosions, so he loses a little bit of his main grid. He will keep his air headquarters fine for the most part, but that is a huge win by Team 1. Great job here by Quantum Typhoon. Just pushed and pushed and pushed his way forward, assisted by the air player of Galactic Fear, of course. But the only downside with that attack is now Team 2 is now firmly in the lead for air. But again, the question is, can Team 1 compensate by spamming out more ASFs before Team 2 can, well, fix their situation? Land invasion from naval units online for you. The eastern side has been destroyed for Navy. Team 2 owns it. Now we have battleships on the shoreline going after Quantum Typhoon's main base. Essentially, that's now his secondary base. This is his main frontline facilities. He loses that. He loses T3 tech. And we have the gunships dealing with the remaining forces from these Titans. The Omni is down, so it looks like somebody did hear me through the ether. But at the end of the day, again, Team 2 will recover, but they're definitely licking their wounds for now. I was going to say there's no way Team 1's at 1.4K, or 1.9K, 1.4 to 1.2, almost T2 gunships being used to eviscerate those destroyers. Some of them are fleeing back to the water where they're safer. ASF's nowhere nearby, and that's going to be unfortunate for Team 2's Navy. But again, they've knocked almost an entire player off of the game with Band. Essentially not really having Navy at this point. Does have a couple of artillery pieces being built, dealing with those cruisers on his little bay section thingamajig. There are some battleships inbound. Couple of spam Riptides inbound to deal with the battleships. They will help out a decent amount, being very annoying, but I don't think they'll actually kill one off. No, at this point, I don't think they'll kill one off. T2 gunships being eviscerated in the air by Team 1's ASF. Team 1 have caught up quite considerably in that ASF count, currently sitting at 111 versus Silent Bug, because he should be at 100 or something. Only 78, so Team 1 lost all of their ASFs and caught up and is now leading almost in dominance territory for Team 1. Great spamming up by Galactic Fear, really just pumping out the ASFs. I did notice a couple of big ticket items here for Team 2. Mobile nukes. Is that one almost loaded? No, that one's not almost loaded. There's no way. And this one looks like it isn't loading. I wish they had different bars, because this is the missile loading and this is the nuke loading. Not helpful because they look the exact same. So there is that. Transports inbound with engineers, possibly for reclaim efforts. Now we have T2 gunships being deployed, and now these are what's going to wipe out those battleships for Team 2. We have some flak, but they're being targeted as well. And Team 1 is going to hold off the bleeding a little bit. We do see the main base here for Quantum Typhoon. Most of his mixers are gone. Zico is dropping. God of Osiris, of course, getting a little bit of revenge through the likes of his teammates against Quantum Typhoon's base. We do see a group of Neptunes online for Team 1's naval player of Shen. And we do see he's going for T3 on board. Going in for more Neptunes and more Neptunes. I would like to see at least one summit be built. As much as I love the Neptune, they are my favorite naval unit in the game. I would love to see at least one long-range battleship, because Team 2 should be deploying their own here. Yep, there they go. They're deploying there shortly. So that is going to be definitely an issue to think about as the game progresses. Looks like more engineers being dropped off from the naval headquarters to help out with the rebuilding of the facilities. And it's nice that he had that still online. Without that, he'd probably be really screwed over. But hey, he's coming back nonetheless. He's not giving up. He's staying with it. We have those Riptides forcing back a little bit of the fleet for Team 2. The remaining Galaxy is getting out of there. Now we have Frontline and naval vessels being deployed, and all of them just got wiped out. Those engineers did not have a chance to survive. We do see Team 1 is going to finally be vacated from this eastern side. Those 18 massive second mixes are no longer going to be viable. They're actually upgrading to T3, which is surprising that he started the upgrade because I don't think that was the best idea. But hey, he's like, well, they got ignored. Maybe they'll continue to be ignored. But it's like they were not. 30 minutes on the clock. Team 1 and Team 2 have not lost a player, a teammate. Love it to see that. We'll see if everybody can make it past 40 minutes at least. But, you know, I say that and someone's going to die in the next, like, 2 minutes. Team 1 and Team 2, eco-wise, 1 is at 1.3. Team 2 is at 1.1, 1.4 maybe for Team 1. So I'd say a healthy 250 advantage for Team 1 that will kind of start to lead into the game ender phase where we see artilleries. We see a donut being built by Galactic Fear, so we'll see if he transitions to maybe Paragon or something else. And of course, Navy has been lost on the eastern side. There is, you know, efforts to fight back, but at least in terms of the actual naval vessels, they are gone. So let me know down in the comments who you think is going to win at 31 minutes. Thank you so much for watching to this point in the video. Hopefully everybody enjoys the rest of it. Hit that like button, subscribe, do the notifications, all that lovely thing that YouTube loves to see. And I will apologize, I should have mentioned this earlier on, but I don't know what's up with me. It's like I'm sick, and then I'm not sick for a couple weeks or months, and then I'm sick again. So I don't know if it was because I came back from Hawaii and it snowed like the almost day after or whatever I got back. And my body's just like, we don't like the snow now because you've been gone for a month. So we'll apologize for my voice. I'm kind of nasally and stuff. So again, I appreciate the patience with that. For the mainline base here for Team 1's Quantum Torpedo is gone. Essentially, he's still kicking a little bit. A little bit worse off now than God of Osiris is, but comparatively with the Middle Causeway players. But you know, he still has his main base, but his frontline base is gone. Now we have destroyers walking on land once again. These things, man, are they annoying. They walk very slowly, of course, but it's just they're annoying. T3 Neptune still the mainline unit here for Team 1's Western Fleet. We do see now a summit. Love it to see those. And he's still building the Neptunes. Maybe he'll transition into all summits. Tons of torp bombers stacking up here for Galactic Fear. Team 2 desperately needs to get their AA under control, because that is a lot of bombers. They could probably one-tap a galaxy, if not maybe try to one-tap 2 galaxies. Shen says this isn't worth playing. Gabe Shen says Quantum. So we gave all of that stuff to Shen. It looks like he might stay in the game. He might leave. I don't know, but usually when it's a choice, usually they stay. They're just sitting in the corner or something. But sometimes they give the stuff away and then they leave. But we'll see. I think Shen might stay in because he now has a second base. That helps out with his eco a little bit. Desperately needs that. Specifically because, you know, he needs to push back Team 2's Western Front. But we have 5 Neptunes online, and there goes the cracking of the AA here for Team 2. There's a lot of something, a lot of sirens that are now singing at the bottom of the ocean. Still T2 going for T3 here. I think that's a little too late on that front. We do see those Plan Bs are moving. This one's half loaded. Looks like it's loading. Yeah, Nuke. There should be another one somewhere that should have been pretty close. There it is. This one is loaded. SMD is not built, so he is vulnerable. Band is vulnerable. We do see Shen is vulnerable, both in his main base and is now a secondary base. There could be an opportunity for Team 2 to launch a nuke from the bay and target the naval base. That would be huge, huge efforts by Team 2 to kick out Navy on both sides of the map. We do see the eastern side here for Band is now under naval bombardment. I don't think the nuke's going to be landed here. It's not really worth it. We do see those destroyers are being dealt with. And Nuke is outbound. He does launch it anyway, so never mind. He doesn't go for all the way up here. Shen says this isn't worth playing. Donut is almost done. I don't know if that's the second one or that's definitely the first one. No efforts to go for game ender yet. Almost 35 minutes on the clock. Team 2, are you building anything in the backline really quick? No. No, and no, nothing yet. Explosion on the eastern side. Kaboom! This is the calm of Band, but the main production facilities are now gone. Looks like there's a couple remaining facilities. Still has his T2 landed quarters, but That's going to be gone here very shortly. All that spam is going to be denied quite nicely here. That will leave Team 1 in a very vulnerable state. We have those gunships still coming in over from the west to deal with those battleships once again. Team 2's desperately needs to get more AA nearby those things, because this is now the second time that those things are going to be wiped out. You can actually see the wrecks of the old ones down there at the bottom of the little bay there. So definitely needs to get some more AA surrounding those things. Do have some mermaids coming in to really shield them from radar. Omni, that isn't going to work, but at least radar to help a little bit. Western side has been pushed back quite nicely here by Team 1. Now we have 5 galaxies online. There's 1 summit, and it's now being eviscerated by T1. Not even T2, T1 bombers. And the only issue with the Neptune, actually one of 2 issues, their range and their hit points. Not super great comparatively with the galaxies, who have 44,000 versus a 25,000. Summits do have 51,000, so they do make up for it in that regard, but still, you need to get that's why you need to have essentially the Neptunes sneak in after the summits have dealt with the galaxies and just wipe everything else out. Strat bombers are inbound, and that does not good. Send me mass, says Silent Bug. I wonder what he's building. Does he see it inbound? He does not see it inbound. Western side, kill island, says Team 2. Well, it's already dead. Strat bombers annihilating all the T3, T2 mechs. Is nice sniper. That is so many bombers. And those Team 1 Sky Slammers, they will not wipe out any of those bombers. They just won't. That is probably 2 squadrons. Almost 2 squadrons. That is a lot of bombers. That's enough to probably wipe out anybody at this point. But one pass, maybe, not necessarily 2. GC being built under the water. Second one almost done. He's building those pretty far out, but we'll see if he uses them or not. I mean, I would hope, given he's building them in the water. The eastern side is gone. Western side is still kicking. Donut is online. First one of its kind in the game. And we do have an SMD being built just in case. 37 minutes. He already has an SMD there. But I feel like 37 minutes is definitely late to build an SMD. This SMD, I don't know. If that Plan B comes into range, that should be enough. ASF stacking up in the bay here for Team 1. Strat bombers are inbound. They're going for the air player, it looks like. This is not looking good for Team 2. Try snap the strats. Wow. Try sniping the strats, says you. Strat bombers going after the secondary air grid, and they are going to get wiped out for the most part before they're able to get to the air grid. But I think some of them will drop a payload. They're going to go after the same section of air grid that was wiped out earlier. T3 air headquarters is still fine. Team 1 will win air control, so that is something. But that is a lot of dead strats here for Team 2 to scoop up. That is a lot of mass right there. Obviously, some of that is wrecks from the facilities, but 84,000 mass. I don't know if that was worth it in terms of the strat bombers. I feel like going for a kill probably would have been better, but that's just my 2 cents there. Another Plan B online for Team 2's U. He now has 3 of them. That one is loaded. That one is almost loaded. And like I said, I don't know why he just doesn't send them into the bay, because the range is pretty far. That should be enough to wipe out the naval base up here. We do see the SMD has been located by Team 2, but again, it isn't loaded. It hasn't been built until just recently, so I feel like they could just go for it. I just don't know why they're not, especially with the lead that Shen has on the Navy here for the western side. Oh, look at the little formation here. Oh, it looks so pretty. Look at it. Look at it. It looks so pretty. Now, are they sending him in? Oh, he's going to stack him in. No, maybe not. No, it just looks like they're being sent. What the heck? Huh. That looks weird. What is he doing with that? He only has 2 loaded, 1 loaded. Looks like he was offloading maybe, but it just looked weird. He was fanning him out quite nicely, and it looked like they went right back in. Nice little pathfinding nonsense here. And here comes the donut. I don't know. It looks like they're going to go for that Hathum class battleship. There is a Neptune nearby shooting at it. Team 2 doesn't really have a lot of AA nearby, so it should be enough. Bug commented by you talking about the donut. 2 Colossus in the water, almost 3 Colossi in the water. Kind of surprised they're not engaging yet. And looks like the donut is coming into range of the naval base here for Team 2. Shady Socks. 40 minutes on the clock. Nobody has died yet. Shady Socks saying goodbye to his base. Oh, maybe he won't. Oh, nope. It's going south. Okay, it's going for it. There goes the base. He has no AA nearby, or at least no T3 AA nearby. And there goes the death of his main core mexes there. T3 land headquarters and T2 air headquarters over here to the south. Looks like that's the next target of that donut. Do wish that mass FAF panel it doesn't exist, but we can't get rid of it. ASFs are going to go for that donut, and I have an idea where they're going. T3 AA being spammed up as quickly as possible to intercept that donut. And is the donut continuing on its warpath? It looks like it is. And my question is there going to be enough AA built in time? The donut does have some missiles, some pretty long-range missiles on board. It looks like Silent Bug is trying to build as much as possible. And ASFs go in to try to kill off the donut. The donut is probably going to go for the comm at this point. He sees the comm. He doesn't go for the comm. He goes for the air grid still. Now he sees the comm. Oh, will he survive? Even if he does, it doesn't matter. And the explosion kills the donut, or the donut kills the comm, and then he dies. Whatever happens, it doesn't matter because Team 1 scores the first blood of the game on Team 2's regular set player of Silent Bug. That is unfortunate for Team 2. They lose an air player, lose the air player. And essentially the entire air grid as well. And it says it's because of your mid, says Shady Socks. Yeah, the Quantum Typhoon really just cut right through Team 2's everything. Did a lot of disruptions. But we do see 3 GCs on this eastern side. Looks like they're going to slowly move in. Team 1 is vulnerable to any sort of land engagement at this point. Any sort of big ticket items yet as of yet? No. GC started here for Galactic Fear. And nothing in the base here for Shen. Can I macro the land push? And I have nothing, says Shady Socks. I mean, he still has some stuff to be fair, but in terms of the next couple of minutes, yeah, he's probably going to lose most of that. Couple of battleships still online for Team 2, however. Really trying to just keep Team 1 at bay as much as they can. And look at this. Yu has essentially spammed out a whole bunch of units to cover the entire southeastern corner of the map to make sure that nothing gets by his notice. It'd have to be cloaking for them to not see it. The only thing that does that is a Cyber comm. And even then, an Omni should be built. Oh, look, it's right there anyway. So, yeah, look at that. Tusair coming online as well. That would definitely help out with the vision issues over there. Well, not that there's really any issues, but, wants to be fully present on the map like us, where we have full vision or all vision and pause and whatnot. I wish I could rewind, but can't really do that, unfortunately. It is now a 4v3 game in favor of Team 1. ASF's heavily in the lead here for Team 1's air player. Surprising that no one else is going for Game Ender or Artillery or Nukes, or at least normal Nukes, or regular stationary Nukes, I should say. Should say. 3 GCs have been spotted by Team 1. I wonder where all the gunships are going to go at this point. Team 1 spam trying to thwart their advance, but the lasers just rip them apart like the knife cutting through butter. T2 artillery, not going to be enough. Looks like they're not been targeted yet. Looks like they're focusing on the facilities first. And that is pretty much everything that band owns. So we have 2 players on Team 1 essentially knocked out. So technically it's a 2v3, but technically it's not. So it's kind of one of those things where, yeah, the players are still alive, but are they actively participating? No. At least Typhoon is not. Strap bombers inbound, and that's a lot more of them. The first volley were wiped out. Flak ripping apart those strats. Lots of T2 flak in the mix. They need some T3 redeemers or something to really help assist with defensive measures. GC online, but there's one B3, and that's only going to favor Team 2. Second GC is coming online. but looks like that GC is going to go back home. This is a very big concern for Team 1. They have nothing on land realistically to fight that back. Another set of bombing runs are inbound. Looks like they're spreading apart, maybe going for the flak. So they're going to go for the GCs. It looks like that might be enough to wipe out at least one of them. They do. And a lot of those bombers suffer. So now it's a 2v1. A little bit better odds here for Team 1. Another set of strap bombers inbound to wipe out that second GC. I mean, with them being grouped up like they are, that might be enough. Spread GC, says Silent Bug. Yeah, he's commenting about, you know, they're being wiped out because of the fact that the bombers are able to AoE a lot of the hit points off of, you know, not only that one, but that one as well. But that one takes a chunk loss in hit points there. Tons of flak, which is helping, but C3 mobile AA would be a little bit better at this point. They were designed, or they were built because of the gunship spam by Team 1, but the bombers are a little bit quicker than the flak would really like to deal with. Okay. There's... How many of them do you need? How many of them do you need? You currently have 10 of them. Are you producing more? No, you're not. Okay. You have 10, 1-0 of the Plan Bs. Again, I love the name for the unit. It's a great name. This one has 2 loaded, 1 loaded, 0 loaded. Okay, 1 loaded. He has probably half a dozen or so nukes. Hasn't launched any of them yet. So we'll see. But that is definitely concerning for Team 1. Granted, Team 1 doesn't know about it. They don't know anything that's going on down there. Look at that. They have no eyes or ears or anything down there. We have Team 2's Western Naval player of Shady Socks hanging out over there. And I have 2 random yellow dots that just will not go away. They're all the way down there. You can see them. We do see more GCs starting to stack up once again for that eastern front. Team 1 has 1 GC. They should have that. There's that second one. Again, it's not tall enough, short enough to hide in the water. No, it's not that helpful. But, you know, they can hide a comm for the actually, no, look at that. Just the tip of his head is exposed. There's a joke there somewhere. You're not torping north. Lots of conversations in chat. Team 2's fleet pretty much is gone on that western side. And Strap Bombers looks like they're inbound for another attack run. Team 1 strategy is just bomb everything. You know, if they had a Seraphim player, they'd probably be building Alisar Bombers at this point. But all those Plan Bs, they're not... Oh, now they're starting to move. Okay, I was going to say, they have to move at some point. Bombers are inbound for, I guess, whatever is here. That was a little bit overkill, I would feel like. We could have killed that. The Omni air response isn't fast enough, though a lot of those bombers do escape. And even that, the fleet from Team 1 Shen is now in range. They could easily wipe that out. I don't see the need to risk all those strap bombers for a little bit of an air grid for God Osiris. We have now Bouncers online for Team 2's U, so he went for the T3 mobile approach. He has 4 GCs inbound. That's 1 and 2 of the original 3, and then 2 new ones. Team 1 only has that 1 there, and they have 1 all the way over there. Looks like it's coming home. Third one is coming online. It might be online in time, but we'll see. 49 minutes on the clock. Team 1's western front is being eviscerated. We do have Shady Socks getting control of everything on the western side. He has a decent air grid being expanded upon, getting more soothsayers for more vision and whatnot. His air grid also is being rebuilt as we speak. The GC's not engaging. I feel like the longer this waits, the worse it gets for Team 2. Just because of the fact that Team 1 is building defenses as we speak. And they have, of course, all those trap bombers over here. So they could move in now. They just don't want to. Man, that's a lot of strap bombers. 36 of them. 3 squadrons of bombers are inbound. U finishes an experimental. Probably another. Yep, there's another GC. He's moving his... He's moving them in. There is 2. And you're going over Sam's. I mean, again, you can go over Sam's, but Not going to do that much damage. Looks like they're targeting SMDs maybe. There's 3 SMDs. ASFs aren't inbound. Will they catch them in time? They spread out, so it looks like that SMD will be gone. Nice grab there, but the remaining bombers are eliminated. That is a lot of dead ASFs for Team 1. Not that many for Team 2, just because they didn't really have many to begin with. One SMD is down. This one is loaded. Does that mean Team 1 has a nuke somewhere if they went after SMDs? No. Speaking of nukes, Nuke is out. Oh, they went for sub-nukes. Never mind. This is a sub-nuke game, ladies and gentlemen. There are no regular nukes in this game. Only sub-nukes. And that SMD will shoot down that nuke. That SMD is not loaded. Are there any more SMDs loaded? Or sorry, SMDs. Are there any more nukes loaded? Yes, one of them is loaded. That is number 1. Shot down. Another one should be outbound here shortly. No efforts to increase the rate of loading that SMD for you. When is his... Oh, looks like he's moving his nukes into range. GCs are inbound. Nuke is outbound. It is going to land on that position if it does go to the same place. And T2PD spammed up 1 GC down. 1 GC trying to skate on by. With tons of these flak. That second GC will die. Nuke is inbound for the middle air grid here for Team 2's Sadie Sox. Kaboom! And there goes Band, killed off by used forces. Because of that Colossus that just kind of walked on by and said hi. Team 1 loses their first player of the game. Apologies for missing that kill, but it's pretty close. That GC needs to keep moving. Assist SMD, says Silent Bug. Nukes are outbound. There they go. And that is not going to be a fun time here for Team 1's air grid. Here come the nukes. 1 is shot down. 2 is shot down. 3, 4. 1 kind of misses. Ooh. Ooh, there's 5, 6 more remaining. Another 4 is inbound. Where are they going? Are they going north this time? They're going all there, I guess. Another nuke's outbound for Team 2. More back here. There they go. Another set is inbound. 1. Oh, 2 of them fire. That's unfortunate. Strap bomber is killing off the last GC. Oh, another one fires over there. Oh, that SMD is going to go down. Will the ASFs try to block it? No, and a lot of ASFs will die. Another nuke is inbound. So many nukes. Another nuke outbound, actually from Team 1 sub-nukes, going after the sub-nukes for Team 2, or where they think they are. Oh, is there an SMD loaded? Oh, there is not. Here comes that nuke. Oh, it's going to hurt. Kaboom! There it goes. Nuke inbound. Kills off. Maybe it kills off a couple of those nuke subs, maybe. Looks like more nukes are inbound just in case. Can we finally recall, says Shen. Dang, that's a lot of sub-nukes. And that'll be the end of Team 1's air grid entirely now. Leaving Shen, the last remaining player with an actual base online. GC is going to be eliminated. Will not kill off the Omni, but it might get that T3 mix that's right there. Yeah, it does. Look at that. This is Para OG Mass in dead GC. Oh, Para OG Mass, yeah. I think they increased the cost of the Paragon a while ago. Yeah, this is... Yeah. I think it was 125 is how much the Paragon cost, I think, maybe? Yeah, again, it's been a long time since I looked at the stats for that. Because it's now, like, 200,000+, so... It doesn't really matter at this point. But, you know, it's nice to know what things were for balancing purposes and whatnot. Will be dead before it's ever built. Says Shen. Oh, yeah. Because there are... Where'd they all go? More GCs being built. All of the Plan Bs are kind of spreading out. There's 13 of them online now, because why not at this point? Jeez, that's a lot of mass in Plan Bs. So much mass. Group of aces most likely has been spotted by Team 2. Scouting with it now. Here, says Sadie Sox. But he sees him 7, I think. And I feel like this whole section is going to be just nuked to oblivion. The TML missiles coming from here. 4 cruisers. 10 cruisers. I can't afford to do anything I'm UEF, says Shen. I don't know if that really matters. Can't invade. Oh, for land purposes. Yeah. It's like, what do you mean you can't do anything? Oh, Nukes and Mavor, says Galactic Fear. Oh, he's talking about you can do stuff, I think is what he's getting at. Nuke is outbound. It's going to land here. Fat Boy online. Hey, that's something. Going to stop the land push from Team 2. SMD is being spammed up as quickly as possible. Hardly any of them are loaded, unfortunately, so it might just come a situation of just spamming as much SMD loading as possible. Here comes a lot of dead engineers. Kaboom! Wipes out that group. There's now Eco Dushen. Yeah, you just out-eco them. That's pretty much it. Team 2's you at 1.7k mass income. And T3 Solace is inbound going after those aces. Nice grab there. Kills off 2 of them. Out. Oh, maybe 3 of them, actually. Makes him look like Padawan and the Grandmaster Yoda. I mean, everybody has their game that they do well and their game that they don't do well. So, you know, it evens out eventually. Another Fat Boy online. Yeah, this base is not looking too hot. Another nuke outbound from Team 2. There it is. Going northeast. Looks like it's targeting. The next is up here, maybe? I don't know where it's going. Oh, don't tell me you're going to try to nuke the ASFs. Do not tell me you're trying. Okay, no. I guess they're opening the door with AA units or AA defenses, maybe. Boom. Kills off those units. And structures. Quantum's still hanging out next to that pond, being like, ooh, it's a little hot in here now. I like all this giant big fireballs of death.
Strategic launch detected.
Another nuke outbound. Where is it? I don't see it anywhere. Oh, it's right there. There it is. Right in front of my face.
Strategic launch
Another
detected.
nuke outbound. It's going to nuke everything. Everything has to move. It's going to go right in the back and kill off all those defenses. There they go. Wiping everything out up there. Kaboom. And the Fat Boy, not going to be long for this world. Sees it way too late. And almost a headshot. Kaboom. is just slowly picking apart Team 1's will to live at this point. 1 hour almost on the clocks. No air relatively to speak of for Team 1. Another nuke outbound from you. Where is this one going? It's going still in that northeast direction. Do not tell me you're trying to snipe the other Fat Boy. Do not tell me that's what you're trying to do. Yep, that is what he's trying to do, and I think he'll grab it. Nice grab there. Kills off another Fat Boy for Team 1. Teleporter started for God of Osiris. God, yeah. I always want to say God of Osiris, not God Osiris. Okay. GC is going to wipe out a bunch of asylums over top of Quantum's comm. Teleporter is done for God Osiris. He's teleporting in. Where's he going? He's going here first. He might teleport maybe to go after the comm of Shen. Maybe 1 hour on the clock. Is officially a epic game. Like I said, I don't think Team 2 has much to really worry about at this point. Unless Team 1 just spams up a very, very big ticket. Oh, okay. Well, you know, there's that. There is that being built. I mean, that might help, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Looks like a lot of those Plan Bs are either loaded or about to be loaded. Some of them loaded a second time, some of them brand new. How many of those does he have online now? He has. Stop building. There's too many. There's too many. I'm going to go in one fell swoop and just wipe out the entire northern side of the map. Just wipe it off the face of the map. Western side's now gone almost entirely for Team 2, but again, the concern is everything else. And the comm teleports in, kills off that Paragon being built. Team 2 loses another player, but it's just to deny the Paragon at the end of the day. Yeah, that's not going to be built anytime soon, unfortunately. He was like, well, I mean, you can do that. And Shen Control K is leaving Galactic, Fear, and Typhoon, the last remaining players for Team 1. And Typhoon Control Ks as well right after that. Another nukes. Oh, there go all the nukes. There go all the nukes. They're inbound. He's like, nope, get out of here. See you. Bye. He's like, I know what's going to happen next. I'm not going to let you have it. Nuke sub says Typhoon. Oh My goodness. Look at them all. Well, they're not all nuke subs. There's 3 right here. There's another 3 right here. There's another one there. So there's what, 7? I think there's 7 nuke subs there. That is the game here, folks. 1 hour, 3 minutes on the clock. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments who you would pick for MVP. I mean, I got to give it to the man that built 16 sub nukes. Or sorry, 16 strategic missile submarines, I should say. So many. More than you would ever need ever. So many. But look at that. Look at the range on these things. They can hit almost anything from that bay. So I just don't know why he just didn't run in and end it all. But maybe he just wanted to play a little bit longer. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you haven't done so already, because why not at 1+ hour of the replay? I think it's almost an hour roughly of recording. Thanks so much for watching to the very, very, very end of the video. And I will see all of you in the next one.